Let's start with Ohio State. National champs, Ryan Day, all the monkeys are off his back. He won a bunch of big games. He won a national championship. A lot of these guys are going to go pro, but this felt like, to me, and I've seen a lot of people saying this, it's not going to be replicable. Like, you have to hit on your transfers. You have to have really great veteran leaders. But it feels like that the way that they approach building this roster is something that other people are going to try to do in the NIL era.
I mean, it's kind of the Michigan, what they did to build their
Yeah.
roster for the championship run. They had some players that were kind of, 50-50. Do I leave? Do I go? Got those guys to come back. They had some impact transfers that were there as well. They kept developing guys that were below some of the top level dudes as well. And I think that mattered for them. And so I think there's at least a 2-year sample size of the idea of having a strong veteran nucleus for your team, being a part of what you can do there. Now, it becomes a little bit more difficult. I am a believer that with the COVID year ending, like some of this veteran stuff becomes a little bit different, right? Like you don't have some guys who were legitimately able to, be around for forever, but it does matter that they had it. Penn State's trying to do that right now, by the way. They need to get some wide receivers, though. It's a little bit of an issue for that room. But I do think this was like, it feels like there were things that were aligning for them in terms of one last chance to do anything important too. And I don't think you can replicate that feeling for players and what made them flip the switch heading into the postseason. But I do think there is going to be a template in terms of roster construction for let's pay guys who have been really productive for us and see if we can get them back. We'll also have to pay some dudes who maybe haven't played a ton, but we know they're going to be good players, so they stick around and we can have depth. And let's identify a handful of guys, 5 to 10 guys out of the portal that we need to have on our roster.
And you supplement with them. You can't build an entire roster off the portal, but you've got to hit on those specific positions, but also you supplement, and they did, right? Like Will Howard and Quinshon Judkins, Caleb Downs, huge players for this championship run.